Hey everybody, just a quick preview for Aston Villa's game on Saturday against Chelsea. It's obviously a very, very big game. Aston Villa in third place, 3 points away from Arsenal at the top of the table. Chelsea in fourth, but there is a substantial gap here. It's 7 points. And if Villa win, it's a 10-point gap. So it's a big victory if it happens, of course, and a big game for Aston Villa and Unai Emery as they travel to southwest London on Saturday. Couple of things for the lineup. I don't expect a different lineup than the one that we saw against Manchester United. Emiliano Martinez in goal, Matty Cash right back. Ian Maatsen, I think, will remain as left back. Victor Lindelof will be next to Ezri Konsa. The word is that Pau Torres and Tyrone Mings are not available until the end of the year. So Victor Lindelof, who did very well, by the way, against United, he will remain in that spot. Then the midfield should be with that double pivot, Amadou Onana and Boubacar Kamara in the middle, trying to compete against the likes of Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez of Chelsea. That should be a very good battle. In front of them, Yuri Tielemans, John McGinn to the right side of Tielemans, and then Morgan Rogers, the man of the hour, Morgan Rogers on the left-hand side. Looking, by the way, to become the first player since Dion Dublin and Dean Saunders to go back-to-back braces for Aston Villa. Amazing stuff. And then right in front of them, the first line of defense, our striker Ollie Watkins, who clearly needs goals as well. So that's the lineup. Evan Gassant is away at AFCON, so he's not available. Ross Barkley remains absent for a long period of time with a knee issue. I've talked about Mings and Pau Torres. And then Harvey Elliott, who came this summer on deadline day from Liverpool as a loan, and he was meant to be a permanent transfer the moment he made 10 appearances. That has not happened. He's only made 5 appearances. He hasn't featured in months. It's been a very frustrating time for the English midfielder. Reports suggest that he's done everything he's been asked to do in training. He's been a very good student and a very good player, but he's just not been someone for Unai Emery. That number 10 role obviously is tough because you've got Morgan Rogers who can play there. Yuri Tielemans clearly controls that position right under Ollie Watkins as well. And then John McGinn on the right side of him as well. So, that's a massive thing, for Unai Emery, and Harvey Elliott will not take part of it. So Unai Emery I just believe that Harvey Elliott was just not the kind of player for Unai Emery. He never wanted him, I think. Maybe it was just one of those panic acquisitions from Monchi because obviously we were restricted financially. And it's a shame because I really saw when he arrived that Harvey Elliott was going to be a player that really, really spoke to Villa. Like, he is such a talented player. He was the player of the tournament, the Euro Under-21s last summer. When England won it, of course, Harvey Elliott was fundamental. We know that he is a talented boy from Liverpool, and it just hasn't worked out. So I think the latest reports is that in January he's going to return to Liverpool because it has not worked out. Because he has played already for Villa and featured for Liverpool, at least in the squad, he can't play for another club in UEFA. So the only other choice is MLS, which doesn't kick off until February, end of February. So the thinking is that Harvey Elliott will return to Liverpool. Liverpool have to agree because there was no clause here about returning to Liverpool. Liverpool have to agree to it. So the thinking is that Harvey Elliott will return in January. And again, it's a shame. The other part of it, I think, is economical. I think because once it became 10 appearances, we had to make a purchase. And I think due to the financial restrictions and squad cost ratio rules that come later, I really think that a major problem is Villa financially being able to justify Harvey Elliott's acquisition and presence in the squad. That's not happening. Reportedly he's going to come back. So that's I'll talk about the transfers in a second, but so obviously he won't be available on Saturday against Chelsea. This is a big game against Chelsea, I mentioned, and I think that I'm looking for 2 things. One, Chelsea are very high octane in terms of pressing. They're going to press. They're going to press high. It actually happened in the last game in February. And they scored first, actually, in that game. And so Villa, once again, need to really get going from kickoff. We start slowly. Villa. We are the team in the Premier League that have gained more points and more wins out of losing positions out of anybody in the Premier League. Saying that we're good in terms of resilience and we come back in matches, but it also says that we don't start matches as well as we want to, and Chelsea are going to take advantage of that. So my immediate thing is that we have to be good from the very beginning, playing from the back. That's a massive thing. We have to make sure that we start straight away from the first minute. The second thing is that, again, I'm looking at that midfield. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo are on their day tremendous. Enzo Fernandez is the biggest contributor to Chelsea in that midfield out of any player when it comes to goal contributions. And Moises Caicedo on his day is honestly one of the best sixes in the world. So that midfield battle, Onana has to be on it straight away. We know that Kamara will be, but Onana has to be on it straight away. And then Morgan Rogers, the man of the hour. I think that, he is going to be once again the difference maker in this game. Enzo Maresca, by the way, the Chelsea manager, is not going to be on the touchline. He's serving a touchline suspension due to yellow card accumulation. It's a second touchline ban of the season. So I don't know if that helps or not. Our record at Stamford Bridge recently is not awful. We've actually done okay in the last 5 matches. I was there in the FA Cup fixture when it was 0-0. And when things are not going Chelsea's way, that stadium, Stamford Bridge, is very quiet. So I think if Villa can take advantage of that, we can make something of it. However, last season, we lost badly at Stamford Bridge. Then we won the one at Villa Park. So it will be an intriguing matchup for sure. My prediction is obviously going to be optimistic. I'm hoping for a win, but I'm not thinking that it's going to be a clean sheet. I think there's going to be goals in this one. And once again, it just needs to be what happens at the end of those 90 minutes and come on through. We need Ollie Watkins to come through here. He's been a great first line of defense, has always worked so hard as the striker at the top, but we need goals from him. Only 3 goals in the league this season. It's just not good enough for somebody who's trying to be also in the England national team. So big for Ollie Watkins there. So there you have it. That's Aston Villa against Chelsea, 12:30 Eastern in the US. It's the later kickoff in the UK. I'm speaking on Friday. The only Boxing Day match is Manchester United against Newcastle. And then everything else on Saturday, of course, and Sunday. But this is the first of 2 very big games, because after this is Arsenal, again in London. So big game. Let's see what happens. Up to Villa.